What's in a name? When I started this YouTube thing, I picked the name Leader of the Flock for a reason. Not because it sounded kind of cool, but because when I started YouTube, I noticed a bunch of people following trends. They were flocking to this, flocking to that, and flocking to others. But beneath the surface, it was the same old thing. So I said, this is what I'll do. I'll do something different. And when you all are tired of following that same old nonsense, then come flock to me. I'll school you. Now, the most popular channels I usually stayed away from. But I must admit, after watching a few of them, I said, they're pretty cool. After watching them for so long, I noticed, they're alright, but they're not real. They don't even respond to your comments. It's like you don't even exist. They look at you as a sub count, as a view, as a statistic. Anyone that takes time to watch my videos on a regular basis and comment, I consider you my people. Almost family. Because those are the ones that make this fun, interesting. Keeping me on my toes, making me want to continue to do what it is I'm doing. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of the coolest, funniest, and realest cats on here. But on the flip side, I've also met some assholes, snobs, racists, and straight up jerks on here as well. I've seen channels get over by doing the trolling thing, others by having the straight up comedy thing, or having beast gameplays. I do neither of the sort. So I like watching it, but it's just not my thing. Now, do I feel like I do some things better than other channels that's bigger than mine? Do some things better than other channels that's bigger than mine? Of course. Of course. Do I feel like my channel should be bigger than it is? Hell yeah. But you never hear me say anything like that, because it may come across as being jealous, or even being bitter, or arrogant even. So I keep it to myself. I tried to separate myself by having variety on my channel. The wrestling games is where I really got started. I do the 2K video games. That do sometimes. Sometimes they do pretty well. The retro games, that's just for my nostalgic factor. People either like them or they don't. But the thing with me is, I post what I want. I post whatever I feel like posting. Stop letting these bigger commentators dictate what you play or how you play it. Just because a certain commentator says when you're playing Call of Duty, it's taboo to use commentators. Dictate what you play or how you play it. Commentators. Dictate what you play or how you play it. Just because a certain commentator says when you're playing Call of Duty, it's taboo to use the target finder, don't make that the reason why you don't want to use the target finder. Don't use the target finder because it sucks and it's cheap. Let that be the reason. I've also realized that maybe my channel isn't where it should be because of the age gap. I mean, the cats on YouTube, the age gap. I mean, the cats on YouTube, look at it. Most of them are 15 through 19 years old, and they can't really relate to me because I'm not a teenager. I've also been told that hey, you a funny dude. You know, we seen you on the Google Hangouts and pre-game lobby stuff, man. You should go with that. Nah, I'm not gonna go with that because then I'd be stuck into that category, and I'm not always in the mood for being silly. I leave that type of stuff up to El Presador, whose solely stuff is raging. I'm not 40 years old either, so I mean that works for him. That's not gonna work for me. I've recently had a conversation with someone that I can consider a friend, and I mentioned that I was considering giving up this YouTube thing to focus more on other things I want to pursue that may be more important. And that don't mean I'm just gonna deactivate my account, because I got commitments I need to uphold on YouTube anyway. But just as far as like posting videos on my channel, that's what I meant. Some people were just lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, or to latch on to the right commentator at the right time. Me, I'm not riding some 19-year-old YouTube commentator's coattail just to get a shout out or to help my channel for any reason. I'm not doing that for nothing. With the exception of maybe Jive Turkey, who's closer to my age, I don't really watch them anyway. Stop hanging on these bigger commentators' every word. What they say is not the gospel. It isn't edged in stone. Stop putting these cats on a pedestal. That's why a lot of them act the way they act, because they feel that they can do no wrong, or like they shit don't stink. Because at the end of the day, most of them are broke, living at home with their parents. Have you seen them posting setup videos from their bedroom?